one thing that happened earlier this week is the Utah Hockey Club released what their jerseys and what their overall branding will look like for this upcoming season. And the reaction has been a little bit interesting, as I think we all kind of knew this was going to be the case for the last little bit. I think it's not it. I don't think it should have been a shock to anybody that they wouldn't have an official team name going into the start of the year. I think they made that pretty clear earlier in the off season here, but it's certainly interesting now that we're living it a little bit more and seeing what the Utah Hockey Club is actually going to look like. Because when I think of Utah Hockey Club, I think of like a men's league playing at 11 p.m. on Wednesdays. I don't think of an NHL team. But now we have an image that we can place in our heads a little bit here, which certainly makes it a little bit interesting. Because I'm going to try and pull it up on screen here so I'm not just talking randomly and stupidly trying to describe this to all of you beautiful people out there. I'll give you something to actually look at. But there you go. So these are the colors they're going to have. I think we already knew that these were going to be the colors just based on their social media, because I think they did already release my mouse isn't going to pop up here. That's great. But they already released the logo on the far left, but the rest of these I don't think we've seen yet. I don't think we knew the exact colors as they've released it here. I don't think we know. I don't know if they've necessarily said whether they'll keep these colors with the team name that they end up going with.
Mm.
Probably not, depending on what team wins. Right? I think
Yeah.
because
Are they going to keep these for Venom?
and this is coming from a Frank Saravoli Saravalli post, so you'll have to excuse me jumping in and out of it and moving it around on your screen. But yeah, these are what the jerseys actually look like. The jerseys overall, Caleb, I guess I haven't let you talk very much to open up this segment, so I'll throw it to you first and just ask you what your opinion of these jerseys are. Also, because I know in the past we've had this conversation before, and I know you're not a fan of like the diagonal
Yes.
logos on jerseys. So I'm curious what you think on these right off the jump.
So yes, you're right. I hate the stupid diagonal logos on jerseys. I hate the Rangers jersey, which I know that is apparently a controversial opinion. I hate when the Penguins do it on their reverse retros. I hate like the Hurricanes doing it. I just think it's all stupid because there's so much more that you can do, especially with like I think the Penguins are the worst with it because you already have such a cool retro jersey that why the hell would you just put letters on it and call it a day? Rangers and Canes are bad too. I think they both also have great logos in general, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Oh, can I? I'm gonna immediately jump in and disagree with you on that one though, because I actually think whenever the Rangers have tried to put their main logo on like
the
on a jersey, it always
the
looks bad.
Rangers less so the
Almost every
Rangers less
time.
so than the Hurricanes.
Yes,
But I still think that
I will agree. Quick,
the
the Penguins do it the worst. I will agree with that. I'll let you take it. Sorry.
you got just so you know you have the
Oh, do I
screen
still?
open
Oh,
right
fuck.
now.
We were just talking about Barkov. I promise that's not just my immediate background photo. Uh,
Barkov Lovers 76
Barkov. Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
Simon's alter ego. It's the burner.
They'll never
No,
know that I secretly run a fan page for Barkov.
but no, if there were any team where I'd be like, okay, whatever, would be the Rangers. I don't know. I still do prefer just having the crest on the front versus the stupid letters. However, to get back to Utah, I actually don't mind it as much here, with one very, very simple caveat, is that I understand that the turnaround on this has been very quick. Because you look at all the other expansion teams, obviously they had years to plan this out. They had years to get designs ready. They had years to choose a team name from when the teams were purchased and planned out to when they actually started play. We didn't know that a team was coming to Utah until like a couple months ago. Obviously, and we've seen this with the PWHL, right, where they don't have team names or jerseys for any of their teams because they wanted to get the league started. Because I think, I don't know, it is a little bit in my head where I'm like, can't you just whip up a logo? But I think you do want to take the time to get it right. And
That's
so
true.
considering that it's just a 1 year thing, I don't hate these. It's already a style of jersey that we see a lot in the NHL from teams that already have branding. So I don't think it's going to stick out like a sore thumb or anything. So I think my biggest caveat is that this has to be a 1 year thing. I hate the fact that this is an option for them to be the permanent, like, branding. Like, Utah Hockey Club is still in the running as the permanent name. If they keep these jerseys past that, I'm livid.
Yeah.
But this
It's like
this
when
for this
the
I
Washington
don't.
football team was a thing. Like that
Yes,
type of thing.
exactly.
Although I will say I was more on board towards the back end of their run for them sticking around. Just because it would have been
I
so
was
funny.
never. No.
It would
No.
have been. I still like Washington football team a little bit more than I like the
Commanders.
Commanders. But that's
Ah,
whatever with that. I will say one thing. Are you seriously telling me that that looks better
yeah,
than the really?
absolutely.
Oh my god!
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
for the audio listeners. I just threw a photo of the Rangers alternate jersey. I think from a few years back, where they tried to use their main logo on a jersey, and it just looks bad. The funny thing is, as
Does
well,
it
the literal logo has the Rangers name running down the side, like
Yeah, but at least you
sideways.
have a little bit of something else. I don't know. At least you have some sort of logo instead of just someone going in Photoshop and just I don't know what to fucking do. R A and I don't know. It's just so dumb and so lazy.
Oh,
I don't know. That looks a lot better to me. I don't understand. Just
but
ha
like that jersey just sucked
I think
across the board. Like they got rid of
I
like
think
the
you don't like it
iconic
because you get
blue.
used to that, but that's not an issue with the logo. Maybe you slap the logo on
I
the front of that blue and I think it looks great. Right? That's not they and no issues have
I
come
can
up with
do
the
that in
logo.
10
That's
seconds
more
for
so
you
the
in
color.
Photoshop and we can test your theory there. I will say
Yeah, I think it'll look good because I already like I the jerseys that you threw up I already like better than the stupid diagonal letter ones.
yeah. No, I don't know. We're kind of getting off track here just cuz I can't believe
Well,
that.
yeah.
The Rangers jerseys are some of my favorite, I think, in the NHL. Cuz while I do
Ugly
agree
garbage.
I do agree with you in the sense that I think it's a little overused now, but the Rangers were the first to do it. They were doing it back in like the 40s.
Yeah.
Right? Like so
It yeah.
they're the one team that should be allowed to do it. But then I see like, you know what? Oh, Caleb, you're going to hate this one. I see this one. The only reason I know about this one is because I got drafted to the Chicago Blackhawks in my like be a pro.
Oh God.
I know, right? Absolute hell. I quit it immediately. But
Oh,
I
I think
played
I do know about this jersey.
this isn't it's a little different because it's not like like going down like this, but it's a rough one. Like whoever designed this needs to be fired immediately. I think this is the worst jersey I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like
Um,
what is that?
it's I'd still take that over the diagonal letter ones,
No
but
way.
um,
Oh,
yeah.
so
At least you've
gross.
got different colors
It
in
looks
there. It's
like
still not. It's still very ugly.
it look
For
yeah,
for the
exactly.
for the audio listeners, it's just like I'm sure you could find it if you look it up, but it's just like the word Chicago and then a red jersey with a black stripe
Yeah.
on it and then with a couple white stripes.
Ugh. This
It's
is
all of those
crazy
like
to me.
ugly old retro jerseys from like the 40s.
Like I do agree with you in the sense that most of the teams that do it end up making it look bad. I think the only teams that I can think of off the top of my head that do it well are the Rangers, obviously. I actually like the Hurricanes. I know that
No.
seems controversial to you. I don't think it's controversial to very many people because I have always thought that the Hurricanes.
Canes.
The Hurricanes
What do you-
have a very, very nice alternate jersey there. Although, to
The
be fair,
alternate jersey, the alternate jersey with the warning flags is cool.
is it, wait,
Also,
which,
Simon,
which,
you do still have your screen
oh
up,
my
by the way.
God, I'm doing that a lot
Um,
today, huh? I'm not used to throwing images. I do 1 week. 1 week without throwing images on the screen. I let myself get too relaxed in that fucking beach chair, I'll tell you what. Like, it's all going downhill from here.
I
Now the whole world knows how I do it. I just literally Google images while you're talking.
the whole world knows that you use Google.
I know.
I had you
I
pegged as a
feel like
Bing
I
user.
feel this like I can't personally say that I've ever had this dream, but it's always the joke everybody makes. It's like the dream of like when you end up going to school and then you realize you're naked. That it's the same thing basically. Now people know I use Google
Yeah,
to Google hockey players. God, like I feel gross. I feel like
awful.
I need to delete my search history. Is it their home jersey that has the lettering on it?
I believe so.
I don't think it is.
Either
Which
is it an
jersey has
alternate?
that's why I said it was alternate because I was pretty sure
You,
it is.
either way.
Uh,
I thought their alternate was like the black one with the flags on them. I like that jersey. I think that jersey is cool.
I agree with you. I think it
Um,
is cool. I like all of the Hurricanes jerseys. It's the
I like all of them except the stupid diagonal letter ones because you have such a cool logo and such a cool brand already. Why
yeah.
just use letters? That's not even
I
your full
that's
name.
to be fair. That is a fair point because I think of to make that criticism of anybody. I think the Hurricanes is probably the most fair. I mean, it applies for the Penguins as well because I think you made a really good point in the fact that yes, absolutely, they had like the perfect jersey ever in the '90s and they never use it anymore. But
Yeah,
no, I think the Canes do it really well. Like that's another example. That's probably the only good modern example of it looking good to me. Like that's a nice looking away jersey.
that's a terrible away jersey. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. It just makes like gag reflex in my mouth.
I will
Um,
say I think most
I,
jerseys are supposed to look worse than your home jerseys. Or not supposed to, but it's pretty hard to make it look as good as
I
your
don't
home
know.
jerseys.
I don't know. You can still
Especially
make
when they're
them look
home and
good.
alternate are just like
Look at our team, right? I think the Flames away jerseys are almost better looking than the home jerseys.
I don't know about that, buddy. Those home
I said
jerseys are
almost.
incredible.
I said almost, but I think our away jerseys are still
I
fantastic.
think they're good. I think they're good, but I don't know about that. That's like I was still very hyped when they brought back like the retro style away
Yeah, I
jerseys.
agree. That was a very good. That was a very
That
good.
was a big win, but
It
especially because
was.
the flag jerseys were not terrific, especially in the later end. Like the we're so off track at this point. I don't even know.
Yeah, I was
We were
gonna
talking
say.
about Utah at the beginning here, but those flag I actually liked the early versions of the flag jerseys in like the 2010s, and then it just went off the rails towards the end there. Like once Adidas I think got a hold of it, is when that flag jersey started looking pretty bad. But
Hmm.
anyway, we can
Anyway,
start talking.
Simon, what
We
are
can
your
start.
thoughts on the Utah jerseys?
I like the colors. They're very pretty colors. Like I like the fact that they have a black home jersey. I feel like not enough teams do that. I really like I really like jerseys that have black with like colorful out like lining. I think is the word I'm looking for. And I think Utah does it really well. I think the away jersey looks nice too. Like it looks they both look fine. The only thing that could possibly make it look better is a logo. I think
Yeah,
slap a big old fucking Yeti on that thing and we're good to go. But
yeah. I'm I'm glad they're taking the time to design something cool though. Like
yeah,
I think I hope they do go with Yeti. I think I've kind of come I
yeah.
not that I was ever against it, but I think
Oh, that
I've kind of
jersey
come
would be
more to your side
so
to say
cool.
let's take the time to actually make sure it's really cool. Like
Yeah.
I think both the last two expansion teams, I think both Vegas and Seattle have knocked it out of the park with their jersey designs for the most part. Cough cough golden helmet shit. Um, but I think for most of it, I think Vegas and Seattle are up there for some of the best jerseys and logos in the league coming
Yeah.
coming into the league. So I think Utah has a very good opportunity here. Don't stick with Utah Hockey Club though. That's
my
their
God.
one.
Can I just say
Oh,
a big reason I'm so high on the idea of Yetis is because of how cool. I don't think they. I think they got moved, so I don't even think they exist anymore. I'm not huge on WHL, but the Kootenay Ice jerseys back in the day were so cool. That's half
Yeah,
the reason I'm excited to see. Because if they can achieve half of what the Kootenay Ice had going for them, they're gonna have some pretty sweet tarps. So I'm excited to
yeah,
see, especially because you're absolutely right. At the very least, they are taking the time to make something nice. The impatient side of me is like, come on, come on. We don't need to go a full season with the damn like sideways logos and all that garbage. But just borrow the Kootenay Ice jerseys for a season. Let's do that. That'd be fun.
yeah. No, that would be cool, honestly.
And they did all good.
One last thing before we end the segment, Simon. Our very helter skelter segment. Um, what do you think about Utah stealing Trick Play's shade of blue? Look at the blue again. Doesn't it look very familiar? I swear
I've
to
had to,
God, that's the same blue.
it isn't. Do you want to
It
know,
looks
Caleb?
very similar. It looks
as
very
as
similar.
as our graphic designer, video editor, and someone who has had to look at that shade of blue for so long. The funny thing is, I'm gonna throw it up here again so you can actually see that it isn't. It isn't the same shade of blue. But the oh my god, what did I just fucking do? Oh my god. I broke everything. I might not be throwing it on the screen. The whole world's on fire. Oh, I might have. What's happening? Technical difficulties. There we go. It's on the screen now. It's ever so off. It's ever
Oh
so
yeah.
off.
I,
Like the funny thing is, I knew the second I looked at it too because I didn't think that for a second. I've had to look at the shade of blue we use so much that I didn't think that for a second. It's close. It's close, but
it's
we
very
use a
close.
brighter. It's brighter for ours.
Oh, it looks darker to me.
Or
Ours looks darker.
maybe not brighter, more saturated is the actual graphic design word. More
Okay.
blue. I guess. That's
Like
what I
the
mean by more bright.
Utah is a lighter blue.
Yes, I guess.
Yes, okay.
It's
That
like
yeah, like
less
comparing I'm even
saturated.
just looking at like where the our kind of top graphic meets the
Yeah,
Utah
that's
graphic.
why I threw it on the screen.
I think that's where you can see the difference. It
Yeah.
looks close though. Like I think if I
It,
didn't have the direct compare, like that's
I
why I'm
I
like, oh
I did
yeah,
I never thought about that. I thought it would have been really funny if it was the same blue. Cuz I
it's
wonder
very close.
we would have ended up looking like a damn Utah fan podcast, which would be hilarious. But which I mean Utah in back-to-back weeks. We basically are. Although we barely talked about Utah in this segment. Don't even know if I'll name it after
We're
Utah.
not doing we're not doing a good job at becoming a Utah fan club.
No, we're not.
We kind of suck.
We need to hype up Utah more. Caleb, give
Let's go
me
Clayton Keller.
give me your reason for why I should take my next vacation to Salt Lake City. Right now.
Um,
This
Simon,
is where it starts. As
do you like Mormonism?
I can't say I'm a fan, but I
Do
could
you
be
like
tempted.
mountains?
I like
Do
the
you like
occasional mountain.
mountains?
I like the occasional
Do
mountain.
you like do you like lakes?
Yes.
Well, 2 out of 3 is a pass on my test, so there you go. You should go to Utah.
There we go. And I have nothing against Mormons. I could be proposed to go become a Mormon.
Okay.
Yeah. Why
This is
not?
this is gonna become a Mormonism podcast.
There we
Just you
go.
wait.
That should be the plan. That actually might be a better idea than becoming a Utah podcast.
I mean, it's basically the same thing,
I guess.
right?
I guess. Is
Anyway,
Utah
Utah
famous
Mormon
for their
podcast.
lakes? Oh, I guess Salt Lake.
Oh, I just Salt Lake City.
Lake. Yeah, I have
Not for their plural, I think for their lake singular.
yeah, I guess. Is Utah famous? What to visit in
They're
Utah?
also famous for their like canyons. Like they've got cool canyons
What
in
to
Utah.
visit?
Generally.
This is where we're taking the segment. 10 things to do in Utah. This isn't
The
me
Great
crapping
Salt
on
Lake.
Utah. By the way, oh, the Great Salt Lake. There you
Go
go.
visit the Great Salt Lake.
Sick. All right, 1 second here.
Which I think is like dying. I'm pretty sure the Great
is.
Salt Lake is like
I have heard that,
dying.
yes.
So that's cool.
So
that's fun.
here's what we're gonna do really quick. We're gonna run through this as our payment for not talking about Utah at all. 10 things to do in Utah.
Okay.
The Capitol
I'm
Reef,
excited.
The Capitol Reef National Park. Wow.
Whoa.
It's a
Oh
big
boy,
rock.
I was right. There is big rocks and canyon
it is a
looking
big
things
rock.
in there. I know that's not a canyon, but
Oh
that looks
shit!
like
I don't want to
canyon.
subscribe to your newsletter. Fuck off. Park City. Celebrity sightings.
Ooh.
Wow, that is.
I'd love
rather
to
pretty.
see. I'd love to see my favorite Mormon celebrities,
Is there?
of which I have many.
Yeah, I was about to say like. I can think of like other religions that have quite a few celebrities. I can't think of a Mormon. Canyonlands National Park.
I was right. They do have canyons.
More rocks.
Cool. I really like those rocks. They'd be some sick rocks.
They would be some sick rocks. Dinosaur National Monument. That's fucking sick. I'll go for some dinosaurs.
Drumheller sweeps though. They're just saying.
That's true. Drumheller's pretty sick. Monument Valley. More big rocks.
Let's go.
Holy shit.
We've got our week planned.
Yeah, just go look at rocks. Bruce Canyon
boy.
National Park. More rocks.
Let's go.
Yeah. More rocks and more canyons. So far, your prediction was dead on. Temple Square.
Ooh, is this the Mormonism part of the list?
I have no idea. Convert to an up and coming world religion? Maybe it is.
I think it is.
I didn't know says that. I'm going to throw
up and coming religion.
Is Mormon an up and coming religion?
If you did have power rankings on the religion side, what would your power?
Oh, maybe that's the next segment coming up here. We decide Trick Play gets political. Power ranks religions. Oh, Lake Powell. There you go. That's a nice lake.
With more rocks.
With more rocks. Arches National Park. Another rock.
That's a cool rock, though. That's a
rock.
very cool rock. That's on like postcards and stuff.
Zion National Park. That's a very nice rock.
Rocks with trees and bushes.
Now that's a very green rock. I can respect that. You know what? I will be visiting Utah. Thank you, Utah.com, for that incredible list.
I'm glad we were able to convert you. It's weird they did not mention the Great Salt Lake even once, and they just went with a bunch of rock formations that looked vaguely the same.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that.
9 out of 10 were look at big orange rock, and the last one was convert to this up and coming religion called Mormonism.
I don't even know what Salt Lake looks like. Like, I've never seen
I assume it's a lake. I assume it's a lake with a lot of salt. Would be my guess.
You know, that's probably safe. Wow. It looks like it's dying. It would be my description of Salt Lake. It don't look like it's doing too good, Chief. But anyway, there we go. In
conclusion, visit Salt Lake City to look at rocks, convert to Mormonism, and save the Salt Lake.
Absolutely.
Bring your shaker.
All three.
Give it some more salt. It needs it. Every drop counts.
Oh, yep.
This segment's went off the rails.
We paid the piper. There's our thank you to Utah. We promise the next time we talk about Utah, we will be talking about rocks and not how bad their team is probably going to be. Well, maybe they won't be too bad. Maybe they'll probably be bad though. I mean, the Coyotes.
They might be bad.
They might be bad. Like, they're basically the Coyotes, just with a worse looking black jersey. Yeah, exactly.
We at
There
Trick
you
Play
go.
love Utah.
Yeah, we love Utah here.
That's the takeaway.
Just don't tell the Utahians that I probably could not point out their state on a map if you gave me 20 tries.
It's
Oh
okay.
man.
I know where you are, Utah. You're number one in my heart.
Then again, I could probably, as a Canadian, I could probably. Oh, I mean that's like one of the 5 states that I would have guessed. Maybe I
There
would have
you
gotten
go.
5 guesses. That's more considering how little I know about United States geography. That's a pretty nice
It's
compliment.
right there.
It's right there. There we
Right,
go.
you
I
can't see
can't see.
shit on this right now.
Yeah.
But I promise I can find it,
And
guys.
to all the Americans, by the way, because had this conversation before while, like, with Americans who find it very crazy that as a Canadian I know nothing about their country, like geography wise. Point out Alberta to me on a map, and then and once you do that, we can have that conversation. Because I've yet to be
Fair
able to.
enough.
I've yet to find an American who can, or an American who doesn't live in Montana. Because though they probably
That's
would be
true.
they would probably be the ones who can.
Or
Anyway,
hockey fans.
or even hockey fans, I feel like some of them don't know where Calgary is. Like it's not like being a hockey fan helps me know where, like, even for example Utah. I all I know is
Yeah.
it's in like the Midwest ish. I know that. Past that, I'm just guessing. Like I just don't know. I don't know where any of the states
Okay,
are.
I can pick up as the resident person who can name and point out all 50 states. I can pick up the geography slack. If you pick
Jesus.
up the Mormonism slack, we'll have this Utah thing covered.
Oh God. I wasn't gonna admit it. I was gonna say it to you as after the podcast. Well, I know nothing about Mormonism. Which makes it that much funnier. Like I could not tell you. And that's nothing against Mormons, because I am just an ignorant asshole who knows nothing, and I am perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
I am not religious. I do not know much about most religions. I do not know anything about Mormonism. I'm sure all the Mormons are lovely people though, and I have no
Yep.
issue with any of the things they're doing. As like I'm good with it. There we go. We love you, Utah.
It's the most political stance that's ever been taken on Trick
Oh
Play.
yeah. Is that political? My stance is that I love everybody. Everybody do what you want. That's my stance.
There you
Is
go.
that political? I feel like
You
that's
should run. You
that's
should
being
run for president right
isn't
now.
that being not political?
Everything is political,
I
sadly.
guess. Yeah, I guess everything's political these days. That's true. Well, you're right. I'll run for office.
There
Vote
you
for
go.
me, the man who knows nothing about anything. Actually, you know what? I will make a political statement on this podcast. We should vote a dog to be mayor of every place ever. You can't corrupt a dog. I mean, you can. If you have a nice looking tennis ball, you could probably corrupt that dog. But it would probably be harder to corrupt a dog than most politicians. So for that reason,
Yeah.
that is my political statement as someone who does not like or know much about politics because I just don't care. There you go. Political
There
segment.
we go.
So let's list off all the things we did today, Caleb. We talked about Utah's jersey for 2 minutes. We then went on a long tangent where we argued about like the Rangers, Hurricanes, and Penguins jerseys. Came back to Utah, looked at Utah as a state as a whole, and then I gave my political stance on Mormonism and I don't even
Running for office.
running for office, and
You're
that I
running for
will be
office.
running for office. So there you go. Trick play goes political.
Do you say Trick Play goes woke?
Goes political. I
Oh,
did not say woke.
same thing. Trick Play goes woke.
I don't know if it's the same thing. I think if I said trick play goes woke, I'm landing on a certain side, but that would have been a lot funnier.
Name this segment Trick Play goes woke and see how it does on YouTube.
Oh my god, we'd get murdered. That'd be the worst dislike ratio we've ever had. It would be like
I don't know the Raider. I don't know the
10%.
Raiders video is pretty bad.
That's true. That's true. The Raiders fans did not like us. Oh,
That's okay.
it's and it's okay. I have no quarrel with you, Raiders fans, but I also don't necessarily care what you think about me. As you should not care what I think about Aiden O'Connell. We should all live in a world where no one cares. There you go. Finishing off political as well.
Speaking of Aiden O'Connell and football, that's the next segment. We should go there before not Aiden O'Connell. We're not going to talk about his ass again, but football next.
Football. Is it football?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not.
It's not football.
Never mind.
It's like what?
This segment is crashing and burning even harder than it was before.
When did we agree to
Don't
talk
listen to
about the
anything
Raiders?
I say. Just cut me off.
Cut the tape.
Cut my mic.
Cut the
my
damn
mic.
tape.
Cut my mic.